is that you can smell hijackers a mile off.
I am impressed.
As you can tell from the title, the Book of Eli franchise is making a comeback, and on top of that, Denzel Washington might finally break a 36-year streak with his newly announced prequel. So let's get into what the Book of Eli 2 could be about and everything else we know about the sequel. As we said, the Book of Eli is making a comeback, but this time it's hitting the small screen as a prequel series. The 2010 post-apocalyptic thriller starring Denzel Washington as the mysterious and blind wanderer Eli became a cult classic with its gritty visuals and action-packed story. While the movie wasn't a massive box office success, it made $150 million against an $80 million budget. It still gained a strong fan following over the years. Now, after more than a decade, the franchise is getting its first major update. A Book of Eli prequel series is officially in the works, and John Boyega is set to take on the role of a younger Eli. Not only that, but the film's original writer Gary Whitta is back as the creator, executive producer, and head writer. Boyega will also be pulling double duty as an executive producer, working alongside the Hughes Brothers, who directed the original film. There's still no streaming service or network attached to the project, but with such a strong team behind it, it's only a matter of time before one picks it up. So far, Boyega is the only confirmed cast member, and since Eli was a lone traveler in the original movie, it's unlikely that many, if any, of the film's other characters will return, unless they show up in a separate storyline, but it's safe to assume the show will focus on the world before the apocalypse and how Eli transformed from an ordinary person into a skilled warrior with a mission. Since the movie's ending wrapped up Eli's story in a satisfying way, a direct sequel has always seemed unlikely. That being said, if the prequel series is a hit, it could reignite interest in a follow-up. Instead of continuing the story after the movie, the Book of Eli 2 could take a Mad Max-style approach, telling more of Eli's adventures out of sequence. If this prequel takes off, the possibilities for the franchise are wide open. With the Book of Eli getting a prequel series, Denzel Washington now has a rare opportunity to break a career-long trend. It's been 14 years since he brought the mysterious blind warrior Eli to life, and while he left a lasting impact, he never returned to the role. Now, the franchise is expanding, with John Boyega taking over as a younger version of Eli in a series set 30 years before the movie. Given the time gap and real-world aging factors, recasting was inevitable. But this also means that Washington could return in an unexpected way, one that would break a decades-long trend in his career. Since the Book of Eli ended with Eli's death, a sequel was never really an option. That left a prequel as the only way to continue the story, but a movie starring Washington was never seriously pursued. Instead, the franchise is moving forward with Boyega at the helm. At first glance, this might seem like the end of Washington's involvement. However, there's still a chance for him to return in some capacity, perhaps even as a cameo. So far, there's been no official word on Washington being involved, but with original writer Gary Whitta and directors Albert and Alan Hughes on board as producers, he's the only key figure from the 2010 film who's missing. Given the weight his presence carries, it wouldn't be surprising if the series finds a way to include him. One way this could happen is through a flash forward, where an older Eli played by Washington appears in a key moment, perhaps reflecting on his past or offering insight into the journey audiences are about to witness. Not only would this be a great nod to longtime fans, but it could also answer lingering questions about the character's past. If Washington does make an appearance, it would mark his first TV role in 36 years. His last regular TV gig was Saint Elsewhere, which ended in 1988. Since then, he's exclusively stuck to films, aside from some minor voice work and animation. While it's unclear if he has any real interest in returning to TV, the Book of Eli might just be the perfect reason to break that streak. If the opportunity excites him, and the showrunners find the right way to incorporate him, it could be a legendary moment for both Washington and the franchise. With the Book of Eli prequel series officially moving forward, one major casting choice feels like a missed opportunity: John David Washington stepping into his father's role. While John Boyega is a fantastic choice for a younger Eli, there's something undeniably compelling about the idea of Denzel Washington's son playing the same character his father made iconic. Hollywood has a long history of leveraging family connections for storytelling impact, and this could have been a perfect example. John David Washington has already proven himself as a capable leader. From his breakout role in BlacKkKlansman to his action-packed performances in Tenet and The Creator, he has demonstrated that he can handle the kind of intense, layered characters his father has excelled at for decades. His time on Ballers showed he could lead a series, and his mix of action and character-driven roles makes him an obvious fit for the Book of Eli's gritty, post-apocalyptic world. The decision to go with Boyega instead likely came down to star power and industry positioning. Boyega's Star Wars fame gives him broader recognition, making him a more marketable choice. Meanwhile, John David has gravitated toward more character-driven projects. He's currently working on The Piano Lesson, an adaptation of August Wilson's play, which suggests he's prioritizing deeper storytelling over blockbuster action. While he theoretically could have taken on both projects, his commitment to The Piano Lesson likely made a Book of Eli prequel less of a priority. That being said, Hollywood has shown time and again that family collaborations can work wonders. Martin and Charlie Sheen in Wall Street, Kurt and Wyatt Russell in Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, and even Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons have successfully balanced personal and professional relationships. Seeing John David and Denzel share a role, even if not at the same time, would have been a major moment for both their careers and the franchise. Boyega will no doubt bring his own intensity and depth to the role, but the Book of Eli prequel still has plenty of potential. But for fans who love a good father-son Hollywood moment, this feels like a what-could-have-been scenario. Maybe there's still a chance for John David Washington to join the project in some capacity. After all, Hollywood loves a twist. To sum it up, the Book of Eli, despite its mixed critical reception, the film carries a profound message about faith, power, and the responsibility that comes with knowledge. And that wraps up today's video. If you want to stay updated on all the latest movie news, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. By doing so, you'll stay in the loop with all our future updates. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one. Remember, we're always open to your suggestions for future videos, so feel free to leave them in the comments below.